Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Quick housekeeping. Check out the affiliate links in our description. Using them supports the show, and please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in. Today, we will be covering OpenAI's strategic shift toward adoption over raw capability, DeepSeek's release of an open-source reasoning model that's turning heads, and the formal announcement of the massive Stargate Project infrastructure joint venture. OpenAI is changing its tune heading into 2026. The company's CFO, Friar, published a strategic statement on January 20th that lays out a pretty significant pivot in how they're thinking about the year ahead. Instead of continuing to chase bigger and more powerful models, OpenAI is now focusing on getting the technology they've already built into more hands across enterprises and governments. The emphasis is squarely on sectors like healthcare, science, and large-scale organizational deployment. Friar framed the current moment not as a technical limitation problem, but as an underutilization problem. As she put it, quote, "The gap isn't what AI can do. It's how little of that capability is actually used," end quote. That's a notable reframe from a company that has spent years pushing the boundaries of what these models can accomplish. According to Friar, this strategy has actually been in motion since 2023, but now it's becoming the central focus. The message is essentially that AI is ready now for real operational impact, and the bottleneck is adoption rather than capability. For anyone building with these tools or considering integrating them into their workflows, this signals that OpenAI is going to be putting serious resources into making that process smoother and more accessible. Now onto some competition that's shaking things up. DeepSeek dropped their new reasoning model called DeepSeek R1 on January 20th, and it's generating a lot of buzz. This is a reasoning-focused large language model that uses chain-of-thought style processing, meaning it works through problems step by step rather than just producing answers directly. What's getting people excited is that developers testing the model report performance comparable to OpenAI's O1 on math and code benchmarks. The model is built on DeepSeek's V3 architecture and has been specifically optimized for these reasoning tasks. But here's the kicker: it's fully open source. Anyone can download it, run it, modify it, and deploy it without licensing fees or restrictions. The impact was immediate. DeepSeek R1 climbed the US App Store rankings right after release. One AI researcher commenting on the release summed up the sentiment by saying, quote, "Open-source reasoning models are no longer a step behind," end quote. That's a significant statement because reasoning capabilities have been one area where proprietary models from companies like OpenAI and Anthropic have maintained a clear lead. If open-source alternatives can genuinely match that performance, it changes the calculus for a lot of organizations deciding how to build their AI infrastructure. For those unfamiliar with chain-of-thought reasoning, think of it like showing your work on a math test. Instead of the model jumping straight to an answer, it breaks down the problem into smaller steps and reasons through each one. This approach tends to produce more reliable results on complex logical and mathematical tasks because you can actually trace how the model arrived at its conclusion. The biggest news might be what happened on January 21st when OpenAI, SoftBank, Oracle, and MGX formally announced the Stargate Project at a White House event with the president in attendance. This is a joint venture focused on building out massive AI compute and data center infrastructure across the United States. This isn't about launching a new model or product. It's a long-term capacity play designed to ensure there's enough computational power available to support whatever comes next in AI development. A project representative at the press event stated, quote, "This is about ensuring the U.S. leads in AI infrastructure for decades," end quote. The scale here is worth emphasizing. This represents one of the largest coordinated investments in AI compute infrastructure we've seen. When you have companies like SoftBank bringing financial muscle, Oracle providing cloud and enterprise expertise, and OpenAI contributing their understanding of what frontier models actually need, you get a combination that can move mountains of silicon and concrete. The focus on US-based infrastructure is also notable given ongoing conversations about supply chains, data sovereignty, and competitive positioning relative to other nations investing heavily in AI. Building this kind of capacity takes years and enormous capital, so the companies involved are clearly betting that demand for AI compute is only going to accelerate. What we're seeing across these stories is a maturing ecosystem. The conversation is moving from whether AI works to how we deploy it at scale, who gets access to powerful reasoning capabilities, and what physical infrastructure needs to exist to support continued progress. OpenAI focusing on adoption suggests the technology is ready for prime time. DeepSeek proving open source can compete on reasoning opens doors for more players to participate meaningfully, and Stargate ensures the pipes are big enough to handle whatever gets built next. Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.